AITA for ordering something my stepsister didn't want to eat? My 25M dad remarried 4 years ago. He has custody of my sister. Full sibling. 16F. Fry to son, and he also has 2 stepchildren. A16F and B12F. I visit my dad on the weekends to see my sister. My dad and I don't have the best relationship. But I love my sister with all my heart, so I'm doing my best to still be around. My stepsister is heavily obsessed with Korean and Japanese culture. Full K-pop, anime and things like that. There's nothing wrong with it and I'm not bashing her. Both my sister and I like it too. The problem is that this obsession has caused her to only eat Asian food. And since she's mommy's girl and my dad has prioritized his new family over my sister, that's the only thing they eat. They're not Asian. My sister has told me that she's done. She missed having hamburgers, pizzas, pasta, etc., but that she can't eat them at dad's, and with mom she does it very rarely because my mom cooks. And she doesn't do these things every week. Mom's Mexican, so she cooks Mexican stuff. My dad order takeout almost every weekend. And yeah, they mostly order sushi and stuff like that. This weekend was my turn to pay. My stepsister and stepmom were talking about some Korean restaurant and things like that. But I looked at my sister and asked her what did she wanted to eat. She said she had been craving a hamburger for weeks, and I said, done. I'll order it then. My stepsister said, no. I don't like to eat that, so I just shrugged and said I could order her something else. But my dad said we all should eat the same thing since we're family. So I just said, okay. Burgers then. We went back and forth and I ended up ordering burgers for me, my sister and B12F, while my dad, my stepmom and I had sushi. My dad called me an off for making a feel left out, and I asked what did he thought about his own kid. He kicked me out. NTA. It is one thing to want to eat the foods you like. It's another to dictate what foods other people eat. You are right. And your father is wrong. You also pointed out his hypocrisy towards his daughter, which is why he kicked you out. He owes you and your sister a massive apology. To say the least, he is in awe. NTA. Really? I think your stepsister isn't aware that in Japan and Korea they eat fast food too, but I believe she is kind of an ass for forcing everyone to eat whatever she likes instead of taking turns. I mean, I love my sushi, but I would never tell my family not to order pizza because, I don't like thought. We just take turns, and that's what they should do as well. Well, I am paying, so I pick. If you'd like something else, you can pay for it yourself. Your response was perfect. NTA. Daddy needs to open his eyes and stop putting his non-biological children over his bio kids. NTA. That's messed up that they're forcing everyone to eat a style of food that one kid decided she's obsessed with. Your dad is being a jerk. Good on you for being there for your sister. Maybe she could come visit you on the weekends from now on instead? NTA. Your father is. Because he's being a bad father, at least in one regard. A good parent teaches his children that sometimes they can't get what they want. Apparently all of you have learned this the hard way except for your 16-year-old stepsister, who is apparently allowed to overrule everyone else's preference for the most petty of reasons. Your father should have sided with you. NTA. But your father is for forcing the food whims of a 16-year-old down everyone else's throat and ignoring his own daughter. Eating different foods at the same table doesn't make you less of a family, and ignoring the food cravings of others to cater to only one person is a great way to foster resentment amongst the family unit. NTA. Good for you for sticking up for your sister, and shame on your dad for not making her feel like she's part of his new family by only accommodating them. NTA. Your dad is making a grave mistake in brushing off his own kids to exclusively pander to his new family. In a handful of years, he'll probably be cluelessly wailing about the fact that you and your sister want nothing to do with him, didn't invite him to your college graduations or your weddings, don't want him around your kids, etc. Face with rolling eyes. Well, it's obvious why you don't have a very good relationship with your dad. We should all eat the same thing because we're family? WTF? NTA. NTA. And your dad is alienating his bio 16 years old. Step 16 years old better be successful. BCUZ Bo 16 will go NC. NTA. Does your dad even like his own daughter? Parents like these suck because they tend to be exemplary with their new family while being mediocre with their first children. It wouldn't be shocking once your sister is of age and goes LC/NC with him along with you. NTA. So, she lives with him full time and she gets to order what she likes, even when you don't want it. And you are there only 3 days a week. And for one meal you pick something you want. And the other sister wants. And she throws a fit? And your parents don't tell her to grow up and deal with it? So very much NTA. I'm sorry, your family is all about supporting your sister's wants and ignoring yours. NTA. I suspect your dad made you leave because he knew he was wrong. I wish I thought that would make him think about it and change his ways, but it probably won't. At least your sister doesn't have too many more years before she can move out. NTA. If you have the space, you might want to look into moving your sister in with you. The fact that B also had a burger shows they are pandering far too much to A's preference. Obsession. NTA. And hey, you're an amazing older brother. Closing parenthesis. NTA. Any chance you can pick up your sister and hang out with just her? Sounds like she could use a break from the rest of that family. And probably not just at dinner time. NTA. Way to stick up for your sister. The dad and stepmom are absolutely catering to A's preferences. They definitely have a favorite kid. And that's not fair to B or your sister. Hopefully this changes the dynamic. NTA. So many stories on here lately should be saved somewhere so that in 15 years when dad or mom is trying to figure out why they've got a kid who won't talk to them anymore, it can be sent to them. Dad didn't seem to have a problem with you and your sister feeling left out. NTA. When my wife and I would go out, initially she'd be hostage to her son's preferences. Limited. He's incredibly picky. After a couple months, I pointed out that he's 17. Now 18. And if he wants something different he can get it himself. I'm not going to have my life dictated by a kid's preferences. Similar situation to your sister. They are caving to little kids. Exclusively. They are the NTA. It's definitely a problem that her food choices are being imposed on everyone else.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.